because I watched the beginning of it.
This video is going to be a long-winded rant, and if you like that, welcome. Come join the Angry British Man. And if not, don't worry, my normal videos will resume after this one. I just had to talk about this. I feel like online lately, it has been a miserable experience for any of us to be online, and I actively feel that my mental health gets drained slowly using any online platform, especially my personal case, Twitter. I think Twitter allowing people to make money from ads is probably one of the worst changes to any platform in history. Sure, I get $20 here and there for tweeting a funny picture of my giant monkey behind me, but there are those who use it to spread misinformation, lies, just make stuff up, spew absolute vile hatred stuff. It's pretty horrible experience to use it now, as Twitter seems to feel like it only wants outragement bait or tweets that'll make people angry. And if you're not seeing that, you're seeing somebody get killed. So it's really just a miserable experience overall. And don't get me started on TikTok and Instagram, which are famous for their brutal comments. And I wouldn't really even use the word brutal, because I think brutal can sometimes mean there's a bit of honesty and fun there, but I would say it's just cruel. Like, just being online right now is cruel. It feels like nobody has any respect for each other. But I don't think I've quite lost as much faith in the internet as I have until now. But look, I'll be honest. This video is about one thing. It's about the weird blanket hatred towards VTubers. I've seen a massive hate train against Ironmouse, which I don't understand. And I know that you guys aren't the ones doing this. You guys watching this video are very normal and well-adjusted people, and I appreciate it.
See, but that's the problem, because the not normal and not well-adjusted people need to watch this fucking video. And they need to, like, not just this video, but like anybody calling out bad behavior needs to be listened to by the people who are committing the bad behavior. And let me tell you, there's a lot of fucking bad behavior all over the place on this platform, okay? And the way that male streamers talk about female streamers, the way that male viewers that I've seen online talking about female streamers as well, is disgusting. I am sick and fucking tired of it. And unfortunately, the people who need to hear this and need to understand why their language is dehumanizing, why it takes away female streamers' autonomy and success, and just, you know, it does not allow them to exist. The people who need to understand this are the ones who are not listening. And I'm really exhausted by it. Honestly, I'm exhausted by it. I know a lot of people are exhausted by it. It is, as a female streamer, and we'll watch the whole video, but and this is the Ironmouse situation is a different situation from other situations, but there is still this there is still a through line through all of this, where the way that the hate that Ironmouse is getting for being successful, and that is like being successful, being, you know, the only female streamer to have achieved the streamathon or subathon that she achieved, which puts her in the league of Ludwig and Kai Cenat, and you know, she's up there. She's accomplished something that is quite remarkable and incredible, and she's not allowed to have that success because why? That's the question, right? And I know the answer to that question, and you guys do too. But that's what, like, those inquiries need to be had by the people who are responsible for this bad behavior. Why do you think that is acceptable to say these things about somebody like Ironmouse, but not Kai Cenat? And why do you think that Ironmouse is not deserving of her success, but not somebody like Ludwig? And I'm thankful for people like Connor, who I know he's very good friends with Ironmouse, but he made a whole video to call out this bad behavior. And I have said this over and over again. It sucks, but men have to do this. When female streamers are being sexually harassed, when just, you know, all the shit that women deal with, I wish that us talking about it would be would make the change that we hope to see. But there are a lot of men who will only listen to other men, and men have to hold other men accountable. They do. Unfortunately, the men who need to hear it want to hear it from a man. Right. Like, I am well aware that Hassan talking about sexism and misogyny is going to be, for a lot of people, more effective than me talking about it. And I don't just mean because he has a bigger audience or a bigger platform. It's, you know, obviously, yes, he has both those things, but it's it's an unwillingness to listen to the, you know, the person who's being affected by this behavior. Anyway.
But there are a lot of people online that seem to just have fun ruining other people's lives. I don't understand it. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I bringing all of this
I would rather a smaller creator get the nomination. Wait, for what?
up? Well, don't worry. It'll all make sense. Just get along for the ride and listen to the weird British man rant at you. You see, in 2024, Ironmouse broke the all-time sub record on Twitch. It was a massive achievement. It was, I'm sure, an amazing and an inspiring moment for all of us, as well as
you're
Mouse.
in a different
Unfortunately,
convo.
probably what you didn't see was the deluge of vile comments, disturbing threats, and just overall hatred towards Mouse. And I'd love to tell you that this all started here and it's pretty much gone with now, but sadly this is a thing that has been going on for a very, very long time. And this is not just for Mouse. VTubers in general have had to deal with a lot of shit just for being an anime girl or boy on the internet. So let's go back in time a little bit so that we can better understand the full scope of this mess. Yes, you got me. This is a video about me defending my friend. 100%. I'm not even trying to hide that. But I also just want to bring a tiny bit of attention to the level of normalized hate that is just for some reason acceptable. And hopefully that, you know, maybe this video can make a tiny bit of a change. Because what some of these creators have to endure is on a level that I've never seen before on the internet. And I've been here for a very long time. 4 years ago, VTubers had a massive explosion in popularity here in the West. Now, obviously, they've been around in Japan for a while because this is very Japanese coded. But, you know, 4 years ago, they blew up and people started getting into them. However, there was a lot of pushback from people like me included who were kind of like, what is this? I don't know what this is. But I like it, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I gotta see. And I'm sure any VTuber who was around in this era could tell you the amount of hatred that was given out towards VTubers. Like, why are you using a voice changer? Are you a man? Are you an AI, perhaps? You know, pretty uninspired, insulting comments. And during this boom is when a lot of people found Ironmouse as well. Now, Ironmouse had actually been streaming a long time before this as well, but it wasn't until this moment where a lot of VTubers were on Twitch and kind of getting great viewership. Now, obviously, VTubers choose to be represented by an avatar for a multitude of reasons, but for Mouse, it was for anonymity, which is why most VTubers do it. And now, look, I cannot talk for Mouse. You know, Mouse is her own person, but, you know, Mouse has been sick for a very long time with a multitude of illnesses, but the main one being primary immune deficiency. Primary immune deficiency is slightly different to autoimmune diseases that you might have heard about. Autoimmune diseases are where your immune system kind of attacks itself, whereas primary immune deficiency means that your immune system just doesn't work or doesn't work very well. And I'm sure a lot of my viewers are familiar with this because I'm always raising money for charities that want to find cures and support people with primary immune deficiencies. I mess it up all the time. When you have a really bad case of primary immune deficiency, it means that stuff like vaccines don't work on you. It means that you're worried about getting sick constantly from everything. Whereas maybe you and I could eat a bunch of dirt, maybe going even near dirt or someone who's slightly ill 20 feet away could easily get you sick or give you a bad case of pneumonia. This disease means that Mouse pretty much can't interact with anyone and can't leave her room. And even if she wanted to, Mouse was disabled for a very long time and has slowly started to regain the ability to walk thanks to being able to finally support premium healthcare. Yay, love America! So this meant the only human contact the Mouse got was pretty much talking to her parents or very close family who she was kind of already adjusted to, and family who understood about the disease and took precautions. And look, I know this is a lot of information, but what I'm trying to get at is that you can only imagine how crushingly lonely this must be. Imagine not being able to leave your room. Yes, we were all there during COVID, but we at least knew that it was probably going to end at some point. And I'm sure many of you knew, me included, that this was awful for our mental health. Not being able to see the people that you care about or interact with friends or just have a casual interaction with a cashier person is interactions that I'm sure all of us missed. And it was thanks to VTuber technology getting so much better and more accessible that Mouse was able to stream like me or like you or like any other big streamer. It was a level playing field. And on top of that, if you were a more artistically inclined person, you could show off your artistic skills by, I don't know, costume design or singing or lore or voice acting. There's so many more facets to it than me raging at Jump King. It's talent, okay? And one of the best clips of Mouse's early career is when she's trying to raise money to get a new medical bed. Basically, normal beds, not good. They don't offer you support. They don't allow you to, go like lie upright. Basically, a lot more support. She asked her viewers if they'd be willing to donate towards that, and within minutes, they'd smash that goal.
I don't like to call my bed my bed. I don't like calling it my bed. It makes me feel very embarrassed. It makes me feel not so good. So I like to call my bed my workspace because that's where I am all the time. Fox, thank you so much for the penalty. God damn it! Now what are you doing? Now thank you so much for the dono. Thank you.
And I think a lot of people forget that Mouse didn't used to stream long. Mouse used to only stream for like an hour or two at a time and then would go offline to take medication. But now feels comfortable enough to take the medication and still keep streaming, which I think is an amazing thing and something that the outpouring support has allowed her to do. And obviously VTubers do more than just talk and play crappy games like me. Some of them have god-tier singing skills. We all know that Mouse was training to be an opera singer and sounds incredible!
If you could look at me once more.
Insane.
Combine that with aesthetically pleasing designs that are constantly changing, and it's no wonder that VTubers eventually had their boom. Now, obviously, Twitch and YouTube have always been very gamer-centric and gamer-focused, and gamers aren't exactly known for being the most chill and reasonable people. Look, I was a Call of Duty kid. If I said the things that I said in those lobbies, and they were recorded, I would not be here today. I would not have a career. Or any career. I was toxic, okay? Now look, I've been a content creator for 10 plus years online. It's been my entire adult life. I've been doing this for so long that I'm a fossil in internet years. And even before that, I would pretty much only spend my time on the internet. And it was normal that as a
Bro, he's a fossil, but I think he's still younger than I am.
creator that you would get some kind of hatred towards you, or some people who would just blindly write mean comments. It was part of the job. Doesn't mean it's a good part or that we should accept it, but it's just kind of how it was.
He's 28? Oh my god. Well,
and because every creator would get a bunch of hate comments here and there was kind of a mutual respect amongst creators that you wouldn't just blindly insult each other for no reason. You wouldn't insult someone you didn't know or you didn't have beef with. It was
you're real world old. He's internet old. Okay, I am not real world old, but I understand what you're saying. No, he's a fossil as far as, having done this for over a decade and being almost 30.
A thing that you could expect because that's how normal people behave. However, nowadays it kind of feels like that's not the case anymore. It feels like it's kind of encouraged or okay to punch down and make fun of other creators that you don't like or you think that something's weird about them. And this has happened a lot with VTubers. For example, in 2022, a massive TikTok creator, Noah Glenn Carter, made a video mocking the fact that people wanted to meet Mouse virtually. Here you go.
This might be the saddest video on the internet. So I want you to take a look at all these people. They were all trying to get the attention of a monitor. Basically, that's a popular VTuber on the monitor that was virtually attending an anime convention. And this whole crowd of people were following the monitor in hopes that they could get a picture with it.
Now, obviously, you and I know that Mouse can't leave her room, and this is the only way that Mouse can walk around a
Like, bro, you're on TikTok. Shut up.
convention or see any of her viewers, or any of those viewers can talk to Mouse. It's a rare experience for everyone involved, and an amazing feat of technology that we can even do anything like this. And to his credit, he did apologize.
This is an apology to a creator called Ironmouse because of this
Hey.
video. Now, in my video on this, I called the video one of the saddest videos on the
This fucking TikTok voice. I can't. I cannot. So this is an apology. It's the same exact tone that he had in the other
internet,
voice.
which is completely unnecessary on my part. And Ironmouse actually responded, clarifying that the people weren't even crowding her, but instead they were crowding somebody named Connor that was there. I'm really sorry to you, Ironmouse, if you're watching. My video was completely unnecessary. I really hope that my video didn't cause you any kind of negativity or anything. And again, I am so sorry if it did. I will be deleting that video as soon as I post this
Yeah,
one.
that's good.
First of all,
Okay. Okay.
ouch. Second of all, you didn't think there was going to be any negativity? What do you mean by that? And now look, to Noah's credit, he did apologize and take down the video. And I think that needs to be commended, as a lot of people don't have the common decency to do that anymore. But would you not have taken it down if nobody complained? If everyone joined in, haha, let's make fun of it. Would you not have taken it down? Or did you take it down just
It's giving, like, sorry if you were offended when you've said something offensive. Sorry if you were offended. I didn't realize that anyone would be offensive when I said that thing that is offensive.
because people
Stroll
are
and Nolan,
like,
thank
hey
you for 3
man,
months.
you're kind of a dick. The reason why I show you this is not because I want to send any hatred. This is 2 years ago. It does not matter. It's over. Do not send hatred towards another creator. And if you do, you're a piece of shit and you should not be here. But why is it now that you can just dunk on something that you don't know anything about, you don't understand, and you didn't bother to research into? Why is that the norm now? Why is it that you just post first and research second? Oh, I got some hate about this. I'll take it down. Don't worry about the other 500 videos where I blindly made fun of people I don't understand. The sad truth now is that it seems like it's okay if you're a large creator to be a dick to anybody you want or don't like or don't agree with. You know,
I would say that this isn't even just being a large creator. This is anyone online. Truly. I mean, how many examples have we looked at of people just being unbelievably fucking mean for no reason? Because that is the culture, okay? That is like what is normalized and encouraged and cool. And people just act online in the most atrocious ways with no consideration whatsoever. And it's not even it runs the it's a spectrum of, yeah, you have people who will like use slurs, okay, and say something that is so egregiously offensive. But then you have other people who are just like, look at this thing, ha ha, aren't these people stupid, right? And it's the whole like, we're all irony poisoned, that everything, you know, any seriousness is treated as cringe and embarrassing. And like, people should be embarrassed just to be alive and enjoying things.
having a large audience is a huge responsibility. Whether we like it or not, we are influencers. We influence people with our opinions and what we say. I'm sure some people watching this video right now will be influenced by my opinion on all of this stuff. That's how it goes. But for some reason, it's okay now to blindly hate others and send rabid fans to go and attack people and stuff they don't understand. Why? It's hard enough just existing right now. It is horrible living in this year. It is a miserable time to be alive. Why are we making it harder for everyone? And if you're a VTuber, it is kind of just accepted now that you just get this level of blind hatred all the time. It's insane. Why is this okay? Anyway, moving on with the timeline. Since then, Mouse, and I assume most VTubers have...
I hate that we have to use Mouse as a case to get people to understand, because obviously she has the most understandable reason to be a VTuber, but like, who gives a fuck if someone wants to look like an anime girl online? Yes. I hate the fact that Mouse's medical history and her health struggles, and I'm not saying Connor is doing this, but that has to be used as a way to garner empathy for someone who's done nothing wrong, right? Health problems or not, she doesn't deserve to be treated this way. You shouldn't have to like have a you shouldn't have to like have a tragedy or have overcome really difficult obstacles in life to have people like treat you as a human being. And of course it's very admirable and it is very inspirational. And I saw people in chat who were like, as someone who has severe health problems, Mouse has been a light and an inspiration, and yeah, and that's wonderful. But what I'm saying is it's kind of along the lines of like when men will say, as a father with daughters, I think that this behavior from men is unacceptable. It's like, why do you have to have daughters? Can you just as a human being think that women should not be should not be experiencing harassment and systemic violence? Like, why do you have to be a father with daughters? Why is it that you have to have daughters or you have to have a wife to have empathy?
But to deal with insult after insult, that is normalized.
To have empathy for women and treat them as human beings. Like, why do you need a reason to care? Like that, you have to have a reason. Thank you, Caroline from Women.
For Mouse
Yes,
personally,
that
this
is me.
level of hatred and vitriol escalated another level when Mouse was nominated for the Game Awards. Now, the Game Awards have this category for Content Creator of the Year. Obviously, this year had a massive amount of very, very big creators that I'm sure we're all familiar with. But to the surprise of Mouse, and to most of us, Mouse got nominated. And this isn't saying that Mouse didn't deserve it. Mouse had an amazing year. Mouse had raised a ton of money for charity, had broken the all-time sub record for a woman on Twitch, and had done just some of the most amazing shit when you consider that Mouse is bedridden and has to have medication every single day that completely changes how any of this would be done, and providing such an
As a man born from a woman.
insane energy to every stream whilst battling a ton of medical issues that are permanent throughout Mouse's life. I think the nomination is deserved, and by some sheer miracle, Mouse had won the award. It was a crazy achievement, and nobody expected Mouse to win, to be honest, because Mouse was by far the smallest creator out of the ones that were nominated.
And the Game Award goes to Ironmouse. So, Ironmouse couldn't be here tonight because Ironmouse is animated, and sadly, we're not in the Matrix yet.
Obviously, these creators were massive, and a lot of their fans that are watching the Game Awards.
Bro, didn't this happen with who's that Spanish content creator who was nominated and then everyone was like, Rivers, yes. Yeah. And of course, there was outrage that this woman was nominated, and of course you had content creators reacting to this like, I don't know her. It's like, oh, okay, you've never heard of her, so therefore no one knows who she is, and she doesn't deserve to be up there with the big boys. Like, what the fuck, man? Come on.
We're a bit upset
I don't
about
know
Mouse
her.
winning the award. This has led to a
Okay, Mariah. Okay, Mariah
and I
Carey.
cannot preface this enough, a constant stream of hatred now that Mouse has had to deal with openly on all of her socials for years now. This is the level of hatred that is normally like, I just gotta show you. I gotta show you. It's like ridiculous. This is 2022. Back when Mouse's comments were pretty normal, I'd say. As you can see here, this is beating Kai. Okay, a little negative and unnecessary, but not that bad. This over Kai. Bro, who are you? You know, it's and luckily at this point, not all the comments are like this, but they're by far the most liked ones. And it only gets worse the closer we get to today. We all came from that Kai video, right? This is #1 streamer. No way blood, this is #1 streamer. This is who gets #1 on Twitch. It's an evil world we live in. And you'd think, okay, maybe...
It is an evil world that we live in. This world is so evil because Ironmouse was #1 in sub count on Twitch. Evil!
Maybe something happened at the time. This has been pretty much constant until now. Speed and Kai on top. How is the streamer of the year? How is the streamer of the year? This won the award, by the way.
Yeah,
Oh, hell
the
no.
dehumanization of this. Yeah, this thing.
2-1. No cap. Who's Ironmouse? Brain rot. This beats Cypher PK Game Awards are wild. Why did you win? No way this won Creator of the Year. I'm crying. This literally goes on and on. And you'd think, okay, look, it's because Mouse won the Streamer of the Year. It probably stops after that. Oh no. So many people are like, post this on Instagram Reels. Post this on Reels. Oh yeah, great. Because love that. Love being toxic on Instagram. Bro, who are you? I'm begging you, please post this on Instagram. Why do people just want to be so cruel? What the f***? Just chill the f*** out, man. Who the f*** is watching this? This thing has the most subs on Twitch. How did you beat Kai? No human being on the planet wearing this. Okay, well, I wear it. It's fire. Okay, jeez. On my life, I've never in my entire life seen a single stream. Why do you care? Why? Like, if I just haven't seen something, I just don't interact. I don't understand what has happened where we all feel the need to say our opinion.
Yeah, let's not forget the hatred that Kaide dealt with, where she didn't even want that. She, after she won, what was it, FPS award or whatever it was, and the amount of vitriol that she received, that she tried to give the award back. And like, does best Valorant streamer, yeah. And it took all of the joy and all the good things, because and that's the thing, is like, there are female streamers who, on the one hand, you want to be recognized and you want to, you know, compete with the boys type thing, right? It's just so male dominated in a lot of these categories, and to have female representation is great. But, you know, if you are that woman who is being nominated and God forbid you win, it's almost not worth it because of how much harassment you will receive for that. Cutie has said multiple streamers have asked not to be nominated for Streamer Wars because of the hate. Yes, every year there are new streamers who say, and the reason I'm specifying female is because I know, I know that they are female streamers, and because this is absolutely something that is, you know, that often happens to female streamers when they are in male-dominated fields, when they are, you know, seen as taking away a spot from a man who deserves it more, and it's not, you know, it's not worth the harassment for a lot of them. Yeah, it's like, you can't have any. I even felt this way when that Kotaku article came out, where Will was very, very excited, and my team messaged me and they were like, "We're so proud of you, blah blah blah." And I knew that there were going to be so many hateful comments, and I looked at it and I was like, great, this is just going to bring more harassment my way. And when I talked to Alyssa Mercanti, who had written the piece, she was like, I'm really sorry if this brings more hatred towards you. And I went, yeah, I mean, yeah, it will, but also it's one of those things where it's like, how do we change the culture if we're not a part of it, and if we are scared into not being recognized for our achievements and not being heard for what we have to say. Tarek was disappointed in his community because of the comments towards Kaide. Yeah, because it's vile, and a lot of these streamers are friends with each other, or like, you know, they're friendly with each other, and it is one of those where, as a streamer, if your community is behaving badly, you do have a responsibility. It's one of those where you can't ultimately control what every person is saying and doing, but I do think more streamers need to call out, especially male streamers, need to call out their viewers' behavior and need to support female streamers.
And be like, yeah, guys, we hate this, right? Who cares? You're a loser. This has gone on for months. And it's pretty much just led to Mouse just not posting on TikTok, which I feel is really fucked up. You can just successfully bully a massive creator off a platform. The reason why this all happened, by the way, is just because Mouse won an award. What? And this is just the stuff that Mouse gets on her own socials. This doesn't include the hatred that she receives from just existing in those posts from those low-tier bait Twitter accounts that post, can you believe this cartoon is beating Mars streamer, guys? And it only escalated once more when Ironmouse got the all-time sub record on Twitch, which led to a bunch of news articles tweeting about it and people talking about it. And unfortunately, a lot of people were just being blindly hateful. And of course, this level of hatred doesn't just stay on the platforms you'd expect it to. It's also in Mouse's chat. Here is a 85-page document of just some recent bans of people saying the most heinous shit towards Mouse. Now, you're telling me this bitch-ass VTuber surpassed Kai Cenat? God, you know these people are so ugly. Just sad how Sims donate to this crap. This is the bitch that broke Kai's record. I refuse to believe any of you are real human beings. Unless you have less than 60 IQ, no one in this chat is real. I've been watching this shit for 10 minutes.
Also, just side note, if you are a person who talks about IQ, 10 out of 10 times you are actually the biggest dumbass. Anybody who like throws IQ around, talks about IQ, is probably the stupidest person ever.
Minutes, and I want to kill myself. How do people watch this shit, you weirdos? You'll never get on Kai's level. You guys know this is a fat guy, right? Amongst obviously all those insults, a lot of people saying that Mouse is lying about her illness, which, I mean, I don't have to tell you why that's wrong. Like, look at this. This is psychotic. This is fucked up. How is this okay? And by the way, this is the list, obviously, that doesn't include the N-word bans, or that would be another 20 pages. Because of course it would be. Like if this was my chat,
N-word
I
bans.
just would not stream. I would just not show up. This is fucked. 100%. I want to make this clear. I'm not blaming any creator. Obviously, we saw a lot of people name dropping Kai, saying how could this lose to Kai and all that stuff. This is not me blaming Kai in any capacity. I think his audience is at the size that is absolutely absurd, and at that level, you can try and tell your viewers, hey man, look, be respectful, which Kai has on numerous times. He's openly praised Ironmouse and been very supportive towards small creators.
Ironmouse has always been top 5 all time. She's somebody I had to pass during my first subathon. Now, I know people are defensive. I know a lot of people defend me and shit like that. But chat, if you actually looked at her stream and actually kept up with what she's doing, you feel what I'm saying? Not only was it for a good cause, but it was pretty well put together.
But obviously, you know, as a creator, you do still have some influence over your viewers. And I think it's important to make sure that when you see this behavior in the community that you call it out. And I'm not entirely sure when this happened on.
Here's what I'll also say too. Because Connor said what I had said as well. We're like, you have a responsibility to call this out. But you also have to look at like, how am I cultivating an audience like this? And that's something that I think most streamers, especially big streamers, they don't care about. I care immensely about my community being reflective of who I am as a person. And I have, worked hard, and I love this community, and I'm genuinely proud of this community because I never worry that this is a community that's going to go harass people, that's going to go say horrible things on my behalf, that will target and brigade and be terrible in a way that is not reflective of my values. But I also am aware of the fact that because I'm very particular about how my community is, and because of, that comes from the content that I do, that I won't get to the size of the creators that we're talking about. I do believe that you get to a certain size when you surpass a certain number. I don't know what it is, but I think you lose control over your community if you are trying to cultivate a kind, thoughtful, respectful community. There are some streamers who day one, they don't give a shit, right? It's I just want as many people as possible. I'm not going to ban anybody. I want maximum viewership. And so that means that I will not self-moderate, that I will not have rules, that I will not ensure that my, that my morals and values as a streamer are being reflected in my community. It's very, very common. I think Hassan does a pretty good job considering how big his community is. I mean, the thing with Hassan is he is a leftist and he preaches good morals. And so people are drawn to him because that's what they, for most of them, it's a commonality. And like they're watching Hassan because they believe the things he believes. Now, Hassan's audience, because they are so large, they they can also like target somebody, and I'm not like thinking of any specific examples, but his community can get out of control, but I've seen him crack the whip. I've seen him like yell at them and tell them that they need to calm down. And so Hassan is an example of somebody who he is the problem of simply his community is so big that he is such massive viewership that like you lose the intimacy of the community that you have when you are 1/20th the size. It's different when people are attracted to your stream because of politics versus gaming. Right. Exactly. So there is a natural toxicity that comes from playing something like Valorant, where the people who are attracted to that are not necessarily going to be as morally sound or as caring of people as they would if they're attracted to a streamer who is, preaching leftist beliefs. Hassan has more issues with trolls than community members. Yeah, of course. Of course, yeah. And that will happen too, is people who are trolls will like pretend that they're in your community and behave badly because they want that to be reflected on you because they're not actually a part of your community. But anyway, so I'm following since today. Classic. Fucking classic. But I remember like when Will had first joined OTK and he was getting an influx of OTK viewers. And I'm not saying like Will's community members who also watch OTK. I'm talking about specifically OTK viewers. And there were like a couple times that I saw that I like felt uncomfortable appearing on his stream. After I like finish my stream, I walk over there and say hi. And I know which viewers, I know where those viewers come from who are hostile to me. And he reached a point where I started to get worried, where I'm like, okay, I want him to, I want him to be as big of a streamer as he can be. And he, unlike me, he doesn't look at streaming as like he wants a cap on viewership. I've always viewed streaming as I do not want to be above a certain size because I never want to feel like I've lost control of the vibes in the community. And it's already hard enough for me to read chat because I'm 100. So there's just a lot of reasons that I am not somebody who's trying to be the biggest streamer possible. I'm not trying to, have, what viewership do you want? I want the biggest viewership possible. And I'm very happy. No, I'm very, very grateful for my success on this platform. But I remember when Nick told me, he was like, you're really smart, you're a really great streamer, you're really entertaining, but you're limiting yourself with the content that you do. And I said, great. I'm aware of that. And I've only become more aware of that the longer that I've streamed. And I said, Nick, I'm not like you. I look at streaming in a different way than you do. I want different things out of streaming than you do. And he was like, oh, okay, well, then you're fine. But Nick was viewing it the way that he would view his stream, which is you are limiting your growth on Twitch because of how specific your content is. And I was like, yeah, I'm aware of that. But also that's not me like crapping on Nick. That's me saying Nick was, trying to be helpful as I had started streaming and was like offering advice as someone who is one of the biggest streamers on the platform. And I said, Nick, I don't treat my stream the same way that most streamers do, especially like big streamers do. And I also I'm in my 30s. I just started doing this. I'm not I don't want to approach this where I feel like I'm just in a constant fucking rat race. I dealt with that enough in entertainment. I don't want to feel like I'm just constantly having to bigger and better myself. So I will take tech advice though. He's in a completely different genre of streams. Right, but he looks at someone like you know what I think it is though? I think people get confused because they see Hassan's size and they're like, wait a second, Hassan talks about politics. They go, okay, so you're not doing something correct here, or you could be bigger, but you must be doing things that are limiting you. Very interesting take on this. Would your stance be different if there wasn't as much toxicity? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think I think the harassment, look, it's one of those things where when you're bigger, you have a bigger following, so you have more people to defend you, to like fight your battles online, to like you just by your size, it gives you power, right? Having a bigger community gives you more power. Does put a bigger target on your back. But it's kind of okay, so, do you want that bigger size following? Do you want more people, even if it means a bigger target on your back? And with the way that things are, with doing politics on Twitch and with me being a woman, I do not think that I don't think that I have it in me to deal with having a bigger target on my back, because I already have dealt with a target on my back, and it has been very difficult. It has been challenging. So, but that's not like the only reasons why, as I just stated, I approached streaming in a different way. A lot of it is mental. A lot of it is very mental, because when you are someone who looks at streaming as I just have to get bigger because bigger equals better, then it's hard to feel happy. It's hard to feel fulfilled, because you're constantly chasing something that's always going to be out of reach, because you're never going to reach you're never going to reach it, right? You can always be bigger and therefore better, if that's the way that you look at it. Yeah, and some people, the most important thing for them is having massive viewership. And look, you know, massive viewership brings clout. It brings respect because people look at you and you're the top dog. You know, it was very interesting because I watched Will go through this. And Will is someone who you should like that guy no matter what size he is as a streamer. But when Will was in his early years of streaming, people treated him differently than they treat him now. And even still, there are definitely people who don't treat him with the respect that he deserves because he's still not a certain size as a streamer. And I hate that shit. I really do. I'm not kidding you. I burnt out so hard from that type of environment in the entertainment industry that when I got to streaming and I really had to like think about, okay, what do I want to get out of this? What are my goals? What do I want to do here? And you go, do I want to be as big of a streamer as I can be? Do I want, you know, people to respect me because I'm a big streamer? Or do I want people to, you know, or do I want respect because of what I'm doing? I mean, respect people regardless. But for me, it's like, I am not the biggest streamer, but I know that what I do, and I know that, you know, the way that I advocate for, people, and especially for women, that has had an impact. And I've had a lot of streamers say to me, you know, I'm really happy and grateful to have you here, because there's not a lot of people who do this, and certainly not a lot of female streamers who are at my size who talk about the things that I talk about. Just being respected as a person would be nice. Yes, just point blank respect as a person. But I mean, it's like I didn't want it to be people like me because I have 20,000 viewers, right? I'm not in the business of, I'm going to have social currency because I'm the biggest streamer. My fave communities on Twitch are the relatively smaller ones. Yeah, there's a lot of people who say that, and I get that, because if I watched Twitch, I would want to be in a community where I actually felt like I knew the people in that community, that we say hi to each other, that I really feel a part of, I really feel a part of it. It is more intimate. Yeah. And that's how I feel. I mean, I've had this conversation with Sam. Sam was a lifeline, has been a lifeline for me, because there's not a lot of streamers who look at streaming the way that Sam does. And Sam helps me when my anxieties or my insecurities are rearing its head, because Sam has a healthy relationship with content. And she is someone who's like, she also is like, I don't want to be the biggest streamer, and I'm happy with where I'm at. And she genuinely derives fulfillment from her community size. Whereas a lot of streamers I know are constantly plagued by I need to be bigger because bigger is better. And Sam is not one of those people. Sam is not somebody who looks at her worth and looks at her success as I just have to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Sam has legit become my most watched streamer since I found out about her through you. Same vibes. She's amazing. I am very happy to have her as a friend in this community because I think we're very simpatico, and we, you know, the things that bother us are the same things. The struggles that we have, where we both feel like we know what succeeds. We know what like the metas are, and those are things that we don't want to do. We're like, we feel too tired to do these collabs where they're high energy and loud, and it's all young viewers and they all speak in emotes. And yeah, and there's just like, we both also just do not like drama. We don't. We hate the drama aspect of streaming. How drama is content, and then it's just an Ouroboros of drama reacts, where somebody says something and then somebody reacts to that, and then somebody reacts to that react, and then they react to the react to the react to the react to the react. And that was like, so it's been so great that she is also someone who's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. She's like, no, I'm not gonna do it. DB, thank you for the 25 months. Thank you for trying to remain as normal as possible in this space, and thank you for the good content always. Yeah, that's what normal. That's what Sam gives me. Sam is not just a friend, but she is so grounded. She's so grounded and so normal compared to most of the people that we are surrounded by in the industry. Yeah. Basically the Mr. Beastification of streaming, just bigger and more explosive streams that lose their intimacy and core vibe. Yeah, and here's the thing is like, this isn't just big streamers who have this mentality. There are a lot of smaller streamers, and also streamers like my size who do not feel satisfied with their success on this platform, because again, it's just when you are looking at streaming as, I need to be bigger, because there's always going to be someone that's bigger than you, unless you are Mr. Beast. unless you are Mr. Beast. But there's always going to be someone who's bigger than you, and I just know too many people who really struggle with their self-worth as a content creator because they can't find a balance between wanting to grow, because growth is good. I'm not saying I don't like growth, okay? I'm not saying that I'm like, oh, if 5 more people come in here, I'm gonna be pissed. No, there's definitely a number that I like to be at, especially when I'm covering something that I put a lot of time into, that I think is really important. I'm like, yeah, I would like to see that reflected in the number of people who are here watching. Yeah, unless you're Kai too, right? What was I saying? Sorry. Growth, yada yada. No, I don't hate growth, but I think you need to have I think it's when you don't have a healthy relationship. Tonight, the theme of tonight's stream is trying to have healthy relationships with your body, with your if you are a streamer, with streaming, with the element of streaming that is growing is good, but it shouldn't be the thing that you obsess over, and that if you drop in viewership, or if you are not where you want to be, that it just dominates you, and you feel terrible and unhappy all the time. Ever since you got that raid from Kai during Chain Together's stream has really blown up. Yeah. I'm surprised Caroline Kwan's title isn't "Comparison is the Thief of Joy." Look, cliches are cliches because they are, commonly said, and yet it doesn't mean that they're wrong. And "comparison is the thief of joy" is a statement that I really do remind myself of over and over and over again. And I'm not perfect. Everybody compares, right? But I say comparison is the thief of joy, and then also I am not in the business of biggering equals bettering. That's what I like. If I were to have a neon sign over my head, no, I know you meant it seriously. No, I know. But it's like these sayings that it's like I know that this is like a cliche, or that people say this all the time, but I really do think that there is meaning to be found in, and that's why a lot of people, find meaning in sayings like that. I've noticed the "work will set you free" heads will get object permanence issues if someone goes offline for a while, make up batshit crazy shit. You shouldn't be a content creator if your first priority isn't content and not numbers. It sucks as a viewer when you find someone you like and you watch them get caught up in it and their priorities slip. Yeah. And I will say, I am empathetic to content creators' frustration with making content that's great and putting a lot into it and not seeing that, not seeing the success be where you want it to be. Permission to hit the bong, Big C. Permission granted. I get that. There are a lot of people who put a lot into their content, and it's competitive out here. It's hot out here, right? And not everybody is going to be the biggest streamer. But then it's like, man, I know streamers who have thousands and thousands of viewers, but because they used to have more viewers, or because they're not at, maybe they're at 15,000 viewers and they're not at 30,000 viewers, that they are miserable, that it's the thing that they just can never get away from, and it permeates every aspect of their lives, and it's a tough way to go about things. When his on-stream got smaller after Gaza started, I felt bad because I like chat better at 22K, and then now, even though for the message and his agenda, I understand. Yeah, I think, I think with Gaza, I think it was the feeling of, man, I do wish that more people were listening to this, because it's really important. And I know that Hassan, he gets all fucking crazy about viewership, but I think particularly on the issue of Palestine, for that, it's like, I get feeling extra badly about having a viewership drop from that, because of the importance of that topic. How do people who agree with you on everything else lack the empathy and logic for Palestine? Yeah, especially in the beginning, right? I'm not talking about, I get it now, where some people are like, you know what, I need a little bit of enjoyment. I need a little bit of entertainment in my life. I don't think I can sit here and listen to 3 hours of like the people who were blown up today, right? Like I know I fucking hate it. I am outraged at my government, blah blah blah. But I think it was like the beginning, the first 6 months of Israel-Palestine when viewership dropped, and it was like, oh God, this feels bad because people need to hear this. People need to be aware of this. Ton of streamers that have 60 some viewers raise thousands for charity. We love the heart of a streamer. Yeah, there are amazing streamers of all sizes, and there are shitty streamers, shitty people, shitty people of all sizes as well. It does frustrate me when really big streamers kind of seem to get to a point where they take their success for granted, where they like forget how many people would absolutely would give anything to have an ounce of that success. And I think this is also just what happens with rich people. Like I've worked in various industries with people who are extremely rich, and there is certainly a spoiled spoiled attitude that can come along with having a lot of money. So it's not just like a streamer thing, but it's just a rich person thing in general, where I'm like, oh man, you should fucking hear yourself. You should fucking hear yourself. But with some streamers, I'm like, that's because you became a millionaire when you were like still practically in diapers. All right. You were a child who started making all this money online, and yeah, unfortunately, you have not had the experience of being out in the world and having to work multiple jobs to pay rent and you know, making shit dick. And then now here you are doing a job that requires hard work, but is also like a dream job. It's an incredible job to have. And yeah, there's just a lot of it. Yeah. Entitlement, selfishness. Comparisons, how's off the comparison is the thief of joy phase now. Mo money, mo problems. I'm glad people came back and started listening again with open eyes about the conflict during those early months. It was rough seeing so many people leave because they refused to believe it was happening in front of their eyes. Yeah. I think a lot of people who went, oh, Israel, Palestine, they either were like, nope, this is too complicated. Nope, that's what I've been told my whole life. Or they felt so strongly that that Israel was the good guys, because I've been told that they are the most moral democracy, the only democracy in the Middle East, and they are our allies. They are our greatest allies. So I'm not going to hear a word of what you have to say here. Have you talked about the ICC charges? Oh, I talked about it before I left out of town. Anyway, let me finish this. This is almost done. Sorry to those who are like, oh my God, there's 1 minute and 18 seconds left.
But it feels like it's okay to just blindly make fun or hate something you don't understand or have not learned anything about. But I guess that is more of a reflection of the current times we live in, because everyone seems to do that all the time. As a creator, I would be embarrassed if I saw my viewers blindly hating on someone else using my name. I would be mortified if I saw that. And the one good thing about all you guys is that I know that you don't do that. And I appreciate that, because you're all cool and you're all normally well-adjusted people, I hope. And look, I'll admit, I don't have a point of this video. I don't have a plan. I was just going crazy looking at all of this open hatred and losing my mind, wondering why this is normal. That was literally it, and that's the reason why I'm making this video. And I kind of wanted to ask if anyone else or any other VTubers or any other even YouTubers, if you've experienced this same kind of level of blind hatred yourself. I would love to hear about it, just so that I know that I'm not going crazy. I hope we can have a civilized.
Should I pause it at 1 second left?
And good discussion in the comments.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Blue Kitsune. Thank you so much for thank you for the bits. Thank you for the 900 bits.
And so with that, I wish you all the best of luck. Don't let these urinal cake eating children distract you from what you want to do in life. Now I'm going to go drink a beer. Bye.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. ConnorDawg voice actor. Anonymous. Thank you. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Yeah. So Hassan's responses vid, do I ever know what that's like? So in conclusion, Ironmouse should not have to have this, like, you know, this great tragic backstory to be deserving of dignity and respect. She also should not have to be dealing with the harassment that she has dealt with because of her success. And I always think, like, the way that I think you get to showing people their own asses is you inquire, right? And you go, what is it? What is it that you have a problem? Like, why is it that you are so angry that Ironmouse received as many subs as she did in the subathon? What is it that you feel threatened by that she had overtaken Kai, who now has once again resumed the #1 spot from this recent subathon? But why does this make you so mad? Why does it make you so mad that this female VTuber has achieved the success that she has? I work with kids. This is literally what I do for conflict resolution with them. Yeah, I did this when I worked with kids as well. When I was a substitute teacher, I'd be like, okay, so, I'm going to ask you these questions, and I think they're going to reveal you to you. I think you're going to, the best way for me to get you to understand something is for you to say it in your own words, right? Because that's what it is. And even if they won't admit it, it's there. It is right there. And maybe some people will have an epiphany and be like, yeah, I am being a real fucking butthead piece of shit. Yeah, mad to the point of it's an evil world we live in. Bozo, she raised money for charity many times. What? Right. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I just... Wait. Are you... This person cannot be serious. Chatter. This is a joke, right? How about that she is taking advantage of children? If you don't think VTubers are taking advantage of children, you're ignorant. You surely. There's no way. Since you started following me 3 weeks or 1 month after I started streaming, there's this cannot be. Please. Bait used to be believable. I really do hope it is bait. Yeah, Kai ain't getting mom's credit card subs either. Lamau. Ah. What? Anyway, okay.